We got beat by a outstanding TCU team on Saturday. We knew we were going to have to play near flawless football to compete. We were far from that. Made a lot of errors. Had a stretch there late first quarter, early second quarter where the game really got away from us. It was a situation where they scored consecutive touchdowns and really dug ourselves a hole that was insurmountable. But we hung in there. Players played hard. And obviously a great deal of our lack of production is to TCU's credit. I mean, they're an outstanding team, like I said, and they were the reason for a lot of our inefficiencies. But, got to move on. Got San Diego State coming in this weekend. Last home game for these seniors. I want to send the seniors out the right way. We have 24 of them that have won a lot of football games for the Utes and just, been so dedicated and have worked so hard for this program and done a great job. So we want to send them out the right way. And, we're still obviously in a bowl hunt situation and, trying to finish off the season on, as positive note as possible and take it from there. So that's where we're at. Injury-wise in the TCU game, we did lose, unfortunately, Derek Shelby for the rest of the season and a bowl game with an ACL, a knee injury. And so that's, we wish him speedy recovery, but he's going to be on the shelf for a while. And then Victor Spikes has a hand that will not allow him to play the next couple weeks. And so other than that, just the normal bumps and bruises.
I'm sure each year, is there something they've done or an attitude or anything that's special about them?
Well, as far as what they've accomplished on the field, obviously they're all undefeated in bowl play, where we've won, X amount of bowls in a row. So they've had, great experiences there. They've all played in several different bowls. We've been to a different bowl each and every year, and so that's something they've been able to experience. Mountain West Conference Championship last year. But just a good group, and some of them have been with us just a couple years. The junior college transfer, some have been here 5 years, some 6 years, like John Peel, and so it's kind of a cross section of guys. But overall, they've done a nice job leading this football team this year.
And how much do you have to stress to the team about kind of picking up, moving on this week, or is that something you feel like this team's attitude they kind of know?
It's a mature football team. I think they understand. When you have a loss, what you do is you evaluate it and you learn from it. And then you put it behind you. That's what you got to do, and then move forward. And our team did a very good job of that after the Oregon game. We had a situation where we didn't play very well, and you learn from it and you evaluate, and then you just move forward.
Being a defensive guy to give up 55 points, what is that like for you?
It's bad. I mean, it's something that is like a nightmare. It fortunately doesn't happen very often around here. But, when you make the kind of mistakes we made against the caliber of team that we were playing, that's what happens. You fumble kickoff, have a punt blocked, a pick six, have, penalties for outrageous yardage. I mean, we just did too many things to put ourselves in a bad situation. But, no excuses for the defense because we give up 300 and almost 50 yards rushing, which is ridiculous, and we got to get that addressed.
Coach, can you talk a little bit about San Diego State, how they have changed under the new coaches, maybe what Rocky Long has brought to the program and so forth?
Yeah, well, Rocky, as the defensive coordinator, obviously has brought that 3-3-5 defense, and so it's a challenging week for our offense. It's much like when our defense prepares for Air Force, our offense preparing for this 3-3-5. It's a different animal. It requires some different tactics in your game plan and some different strategies. So that's really, what the defense looks like is exactly what it looked like at New Mexico the last several years. Offensively, Al Borges, a coordinator that's been around a lot of good places. He's done a lot of good things. I know him, very well and his style of play and what he tries to do and attack. And he's very sound. He's very, I don't want to say old school, but a lot of two-back power run game, which has been his forte over the years, and they're doing that this year. But, other than that, it's the, typical athletic team that you expect out of San Diego State. For years they've put a bunch of guys in the NFL, and that looks like they got some guys now that are going to do that as well.
Can you just talk about maybe what Jordan learned in this experience and if that can be positive moving forward?
I think it'll be a big positive for Jordan Wynn. I thought he handled himself very well, even though his numbers weren't spectacular. He hung in there. He was getting hit quite often. He showed a great deal of toughness and resiliency. I thought he was poised and confident in the pocket. Even like I said, even though his numbers weren't prolific, he did a solid job. And given the circumstances, I think that he learned a great deal, and he'll be a better quarterback in the future because of it.